Okay, so this is a second video for the distance formula for homework number 5 of period 6, homework number 6 of period 4. So our last two examples in which we use, that's within the first 6 problems of your homework, in which we have 2 points that are on a graph and we have to use the distance formula to find the distance between those 2 points. Okay, so this is number 3. We have to identify a point for A and a point for B. So I'm going to start out with A. So we have a coordinate point. We have 2 values because we have 2 axi, the x-axis and the y-axis. And so our number before the comma is going to be x. Our number after the comma is going to be our y value. So starting with our x-axis, our 0, which is the same for y and x, I start at 0. And when I move to the left, I'm moving into negative numbers that become more and more negative, and as I move to the right, more and more positive. So lining up, I start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the negative direction, so my x value is going to be negative 5. My y value is start at 0, and I move up 1, 2, 3, 4. If I move up, I'm moving in the positive direction. Move down, I'm moving in the negative. So I'm moving up 4 units in y in the positive direction, so I have 4 for my y value. So for B, same thing. I start out at 0. I move 2 units to the left, so I move 2 units in the negative direction. I'm left at negative 2. I move up 1 unit in y, so I have a positive 1 unit for y. So now I have my 2 points. So I have A, and then I have B. Okay, so A is going to be negative 5, 4, and B is going to be negative 2, 1. So now I have my 2 points, and I need 2 points to plug into my distance formula. So here's my distance formula. And I have to pick a point. Doesn't matter which one, as long as I pick that one point. So I'm going to move left to right this time. And I have the x value of my first point, x sub 1, the y value of my first point, y sub 1, x value of my second point, x sub 2, x value of my second point, and then y value of my second point, x sub 2. So now we just plug and chug. We just plug it in into this equation. So it's going to be x sub 2 I have mapped as negative 2. And just know, like I said before, it doesn't matter what point you choose, you'll end up at the same answer as long as each point is just one point. Okay, so minus x sub 1, it's going to be minus negative 5 squared plus y sub 2 will be 1 minus 2 squared. Okay, so this brings us here. So we're left with, we reduce our signs. This would be positive, negative, negative, positive. Negative 2, negative, negative gives us a positive, so it's positive 2 squared, plus 1 minus 2. Negative, negative reduces to a single positive sign. Okay, and then we have negative 2 plus 5, that gives us 3 squared. Plus 1 plus 2 is going to give us 3 squared. Remember, we have to take into account PEMDAS, the order of operations, whenever that tells us what we should do first. And our answer, so we have 3 squared, which is 9. 3 times 3, and then we have plus 3 times 3 again, which is 9. We're left with the square root of 18, which is our distance between A and B, between these 2 coordinate points. Okay, we're going to move on to example number 4. So just to hit this point home, where we have to find the coordinates of point A. So we start, we have a comma in between our coordinate point, divides the x value that comes before from the y value of the point that comes after. Start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative direction, negative 5, and then we're moving up to 1, 2, positive 2. B, we're moving to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 4, then we're moving down 2, so if we fall on the y-axis for our y value, we're becoming negative, so negative 1, negative 2. Negative 2. Okay. So now we have our 2 points. We have negative 5, comma 2. and we have, so this will be A, and then we have B, which is going to be 4, comma, -2. Plug in our distance formula, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus 1 squared. Okay. Pick a point. This time I'm going to do the reverse order from right to left. This will be the x value of our first point, y value of our first point, and then x value of our second point, y value of our second point. Okay, so then we just plug them in. Same situation. So x sub 2, -5. We pick -5. That maps to our x sub 2. So x sub 1, we have 4 minus +4 squared plus y sub 2, which is going to be 2, minus y sub 1, which is -2, quantity squared. So we're left with -5 minus positive gives us -4 squared plus 2 minus minus gives us a reduced to a sign of a positive. And we're left with -5 minus 4 gives us -9 squared plus 2 plus 2, 4 squared. -9 times -9. 9 times 9 is 81. Negative and a negative is a positive, so left with 81. 4 times 4, 16. Gives us a final answer of 97. And that is the distance between the 2 points between A and B. So the distance between those 2 points is there. And the distance formula makes it really easy to find the distance between 2 points. Now, if we're looking at a graph and, like, for example, we have these 2 points here, well, these 2 points are going to be 2 units. But what about a diagonal, like a line like this? It's less obvious. It's harder to see. So that's where our distance formula comes into play, and makes it useful for us to use in math. So we're going to continue into using 2 points. So with our the last 6 problems, so questions 6 through 12, they just give us a point. So for question number 5, let's say I have point A, and this is going to be 2, -2. And let's say we have B, which is, 7, -1. Okay, so the last 6 problems are easier because you don't have to put in the effort of identifying the coordinate points. They're just given to you, and then you just plug them into your graph. So if you need more examples, stay with me, and if not, if you were able to follow the first 4, then you're good to go. So we have x2 minus x1, a quantity squared, plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1, quantity squared. Identify a point. Pick this as my first and my second point. X sub 1, y sub 1, sub 2, y sub 2. We're left with x sub 2. This is 7 minus x sub 1, positive 2 squared, plus y sub 2 minus 1 minus -2 squared. Okay, so we have positive, negative, negative, positive, negative, negative, positive, positive. Any combination of negative, positive, negative. Double sign gives us a positive. 7 minus positive 2 gives us -2. Minus positive. Minus 1. Negative, negative is positive. Squared. So -2. 5 squared plus -1 plus 2, 1 squared. We're left with 25 squared. 25 plus 1 gives us square root 26. Alright, we're done. Number 6, do another example. Okay, we have a -7, -5. We have an A here. I had -7, -5. And then let's say I had, say -1, -1. Okay, so we have our distance formula, x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. X sub 2, choose a point, we'll pick them in reverse order. This is x sub 2, y sub 2, this will be x sub 1, y sub 1. So x sub 2 is going to be negative 7 minus x sub 1 minus 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus 5 minus y sub 1 minus negative 1 squared. Okay, so minus 7 minus minus gives us a positive 1. Minus 5 minus minus, once again, reduces to a single sign, and that is positive 1 squared. Minus 7 plus 1 gives us minus 6 squared. Minus 5 plus 1, minus 4 squared. Minus 6 times minus 6 gives us 36. Minus 4 times minus 4 gives us 16. And this reduces to positive 42. Okay, we'll do one more, and then we'll be done for the problem. So then we'll deal with how to reduce these radicals, how to simplify them. And then we'll be done for this homework. Okay, so if I have, and if you feel already comfortable at this point, you can just move on to the third video on simplifying radicals. This is just, at this time, it's just for those who feel like they need extra practice. So you guys were making this happen. Alright, so we have minus 3 minus 1. Okay. So we have 2 points. Let's say that this is point 1, this is point 2, so this will be my x value of my first point, y value of my first point. X value of my second point, y value of my second point. Okay, so then I have this distance formula. X sub 1, x sub 2 plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Plug and chug. Name of the game here. So x sub 2 minus 3 minus x sub 1 minus positive 4 squared, quantity squared, plus y sub 2 minus 1 minus negative 2 squared. Okay. And we're reducing the signs. Minus 3 minus positive, so negative 4 squared, plus minus 1, negative negative positive squared. There we have it. So we have negative 3 minus 4, negative 7 squared, plus negative 1 plus 2, negative 1 squared. Gives us 49. Negative 1 times negative 1 gives us 1. Left with square root of 50. Final answer. Okay, so that ends this video. We're just going to move on reducing the radicals, so we can just simplify the radicals to their most simple form. See you in the next video. Bye.